we want to focus more on this thing called tensor. So tensor is an n-dimensional array or list used in tensor to represent all data. So whatever data that we are going to represent is going to be a tensor, be it a number like 12, or be it like a list of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, or be it a list of numbers, or be it a list of numbers, and so on. A tensor can be an n-dimensional array. So if it's 0-dimensional, it's a scalar. If it's 1-dimensional, it's a vector. If it's 2-dimensional, it's a matrix. And if it is greater than that, it's simply called a tensor. Okay. Now these tensors are defined by the rank, shape, and type. Three things: rank, shape, and type. So what is it with these guys? Let's see. A rank 0 tensor is actually a scalar, and an example will be something like 145. Just a single number. Any single number that you can think of will be ranked 0 in TensorFlow language. Okay. Rank 1 is a vector where it can consist of a list of numbers, 1, 4, 5 in this example. Rank 2 can be a matrix of values wherein this is essentially represented as a matrix. So typically whatever matrix that we have seen, 1, 4, 5, 1, 5, 7, this is getting represented like this, which is 2-dimensional rank and goes by the name of matrix. Okay, so matrix is a 2-dimensional array of numbers, right? And then we finally come to a tensor, where a 3 tensor can be called a cube, and it looks something like this. It's just a list of numbers. Okay. Now this is how we define a rank. Now let's focus on the shape. So basically, a scalar has a blank shape. A vector is of shape 5 in this case. A matrix, I think this is a typo. This should be 3. Okay. This will be a 2 by 3 matrix, and this will be a 3 by 2 by 3 tensor. Okay. So I'll just do that correction. Just not to get you confused, this will be 3. Okay. So any scalar that we get has no shape or has a blank shape. Any vector that we see, the shape will be the number of elements present inside this vector. There are 3 elements, hence the shape is 3. In this case, I have 2 lists. This has 3 elements, this has 3 elements, and I have 2 lists altogether. So this will be a 2 by 3 shaped tensor. This one, on the other hand, this is of shape 3. Each of these lists are of shape 3, right? Each of these lists are of shape 3. So I get a 3 here. Now I have a list that is present here. A list which has 2 lists of 3 elements. So these are 2 elements, hence the 2. And then I have 1 list of lists, 2 lists of lists, and then 3 lists of lists, and hence a 3 here. So ultimately, this complex set of numbers is of shape 3 by 2 by 3. Okay. So with that, we get a more in-depth, detailed understanding of what tensors are. And if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat window. I'll come back to it in a moment. Okay. So basically, a tensor is an n-dimensional array. 0 dimensions means it's a scalar, which is of blank shape. 1 dimension means vector. 2 dimensions means a matrix, and 3 dimensions means simply a 3-dimensional tensor.